Okay, hello Mrs. Smith.
Hello.
Thank you for coming again.
Yeah, no problem.
What did you bring into the session today to work on?
Yeah, so I guess this week the main problem has been my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name is Sylvia.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What has Sylvia been doing? Or not doing?
Well, yeah, she's probably not doing her studies. She's going out and drinking. She's got all kinds of friends.
What's
she
her
wants to
age?
bring over. She's 19.
Okay, she's 19 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, what actually happened? What have you been doing when she's going out drinking, not doing her work?
Yeah, well, I mean, one time when she went out drinking, I started to try to ring up her friends and find out where she was.
Okay, and what did you say to her when you reached her?
Well, actually, in fact, one of her friends told me where she was, and I went over to their house and knocked on the door to find her.
Okay.
You know, to get her out of there.
And what else did you do after knocking the door and when you saw her?
Well, I saw her there, and she was with some guys, and there was a lot of alcohol there, and you know, I was pretty angry, and I took her out of there. Yeah.
Okay, so how about stopping here and trying to get a look from our observer perspective on the situation, and then try to get the whole picture of what's been going on there.
Okay.
And then maybe we find another idea what you can do else that might be more successful. Okay?
Okay.
So let's get up. Now we are watching the game from the outside.
Okay.
There is, what's your Christian name?
It's Susan.
Susan. So there is Susan sitting there, and this is the daughter whose name was?
Sylvia.
Sylvia. Susan and Sylvia. Which mode was Susan in when she went to this house, knocked the door, and had an argument with Sylvia?
Which mode? Like, well...
If you think of the three options to turn up you a little bit.
Yeah.
Was she more cooperative, submissive? Was she more detached, or was she more on the dominant?
Yeah, dominant.
Dominant,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
she's the mom. She has to do this.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to look at which mode she's in. I don't want to look at the reasons, because there are always reasons for everything. And in our kind of therapy, we more look at what people do and what the effects are. And so I think you're perfectly right. Susan mom was in the dominant mother mode. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's one way to do it, and I can fully understand that you, as the mother, feel entitled to tell her how things have to go. But there's another thing on the other side. Let's look at the emotion. You already mentioned that. What was the emotion driving Susan's overcompensator?
Anger.
She was angry. So when she's angry, which leg is Susan standing on? If you remember the two needs, the two legs.
Assertive.
That's assertiveness. Yeah, you're on the powerful side.
Yeah.
You try to take your stance, and the anger drives your overcompensator, and you try to get the message through to Sylvia. Okay, that's fine, but what is the idea of Susan, what Sylvia should do?
What she wants Sylvia to do.
What Susan wants her to do.
What Susan wants her to do. Well, Susan wants her to be a well-behaved 19-year-old.
Yeah, but in which mode does Sylvia has to go when Sylvia does what Susan wants her to do? If you look at the three modes, three options.
Submissive?
Yeah. That's what you said. She should understand that Susan is right.
Yeah.
And it's not about right or wrong. This is a pretty understandable position. But what is Sylvia actually doing? Does she submit? Does she give in?
Well, I mean, Susan remembers that she shouted back at her.
Yeah, she shouted back. So which mode is Sylvia actually going in?
Assertive?
Yeah, the assertive side, the anger, the bully side, the fight side.
Yeah.
So they're both in an overcompensatory, angry, fighting state.
Yeah.
And how long did that last?
Well, quite a while. The car ride back was pretty
Okay,
intense. Yeah.
some minutes. But at the end of the day, what had happened? What was Sylvia doing?
At the end of that day,
Yeah.
I think she came home and slammed the door and wouldn't talk to me.
Yeah, she slammed the door and didn't talk to you.
Mm.
So in which mode did Sylvia shift when she's not talking anymore to this bullying Susan? To this dominant Susan?
Avoidant.
Yeah, she withdraws. So she backs off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So the desired outcome
Mm-hmm.
is not the actual outcome.
Mm.
And that's a problem. Just to step one step back
Mm-hmm.
further. Does something like that happen to Susan more often beside the relationship with Sylvia? Maybe we can ask your best friend. What's your best friend?
Marsha.
Marsha. Marsha.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Marsha.
Oh, I'm Marsha.
You are Marsha.
Okay.
And there's Susan.
Yeah.
You know her well?
Yeah, I know her well.
You know her well.
Yeah.
We just talked about her experience with Sylvia.
Yeah.
And we realized that her attempts to control Sylvia, to tell Sylvia how the world works, are not very successful.
Mm.
And Sylvia turns away.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen to Susan more often, that people turn away from her when she gets in this self-assertive side?
Yeah. She can get pretty angry.
She can get pretty angry. Okay.
Have a temper or...
Yeah. That's okay. This is part of our setup.
Mm.
We are able to get angry. This is one leg we are standing on. This is the assertiveness leg. Anger, fighting,
Mm-hmm.
dominating, controlling. But this means that Susan, not only with Sylvia, but also with other people, runs into a kind of a dead-end street. When the people turn away, this is not a good outcome.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to you, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to try something different? Add another
Yeah.
option to your strategy?
Yeah. That sounds
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Now, to broaden your portfolio of
Mhm.
options.
Okay.
Okay, so you know from the model that there is not only the assertiveness leg, but there's also another leg that we call
Vulnerable?
the attachment leg, which is more make us feel a kind of vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're vulnerable, we are well aware that we need other people and we try to connect with them in a soft way, not in the hard way, by anger and controlling them, but by opening up, by cooperating, by having a good, fair relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay? And if we picture that there's a young adult over there, Sylvia is a young adult,
Yeah.
maybe it's more promising to go up to this cooperative leg,
Mm-hmm.
which might lead to another outcome. This is my idea.
Okay.
Okay, so please sit down here on this vulnerable chair.
This one?
Yeah. And now back to experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel when you see how your overcompensator pushes Sylvia away? Let's stay with Sylvia. How
Okay.
does that make you feel?
Rejected?
Rejected? This is not a basic emotion. it's right, but if you dig deeper into your basic emotions, and remember there is fear, sadness, disgust, and anger. What does it makes you feel when you see that Sylvia turns her back on you? It just goes.
Yeah, it's sad.
You feel sad, yeah.
Rejected, sad, alone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just me and Sylvia are at home. There's no one else. It's just the two of us. So I'm left alone when she does that.
And I'm very happy that you're able to get in touch with the sadness so quickly. Some people are more rigid and are more on the angry side. And then we ask them to create an image of being alone in their bed and Sylvia going away and she's alone and you don't know where Sylvia's going. How does that make you feel if you just close your eyes and get into this image? Maybe she'd go away forever?
Yeah, I worry about that.
Yeah.
I worry about that. If she's gone, that's right, I am alone.
Yeah.
And then there
How
are
does that
some
make you
nights
feel?
when I am actually alone when she's not there.
How does that make you feel if you bring up this image?
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's important because this is the other side inside of you. This is the vulnerable side there. Yeah. So what do you want Sylvia to do when you are in touch with this vulnerable side?
I would wish that she'd somehow know,
Yeah.
that she would comfort me.
Yeah.
That's what I would want Sylvia to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we will have a look if it's a good idea that she really has to comfort you.
Okay.
Maybe that's, I'm not sure, we will decide that on the observer level, but maybe this is the second step. What is the first step that you wish her to do when she's turned away like that?
To turn back?
Yes, it's simple, but just turn around again, look at you, to face you. But this means that we have to put this overcompensator aside. We can put it here.
Okay.
And then we can turn her around and she's looking at you again. So what do you want her to do? Turn her into the face.
Talking to her.
From the soft side, yes. From the soft side.
Sylvia, I want you to talk to me.
Yeah.
I want you to engage with me again.
Yeah.
I feel left out and alone when you shut the door.
Okay. Oh, well, that's okay for the first step. How do you feel when you say that? How does it make you feel in your body?
It feels kind of calm.
Yeah.
I don't feel so, angry or worked up
Driven.
like I was when we were arguing.
Can you feel the difference?
Yeah, I can feel it now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Because it's important to be in touch with this part of yourself as well. There is an angry side inside of you, and that's okay, it's not wrong. But if you're not in touch with this vulnerable side too, you are just standing on one leg. And now there's a chance that you can talk from a more balanced state with Sylvia. Okay, so let's stand up again.
Okay.
For the last step. Come here. There is an overcompensatory side in you, but we'll put it aside. And now, there are both chairs. Yeah, you can see both chairs.
Yeah.
There's the angry leg, the angry Susan, but there's also the vulnerable soft Susan.
Right. Okay.
Try to feel both of them. Stay in touch with both of them.
Okay.
Yeah? And now we do a rehearsal, how you could talk to Sylvia in a more balanced way than going and hammering against the door and telling her what she has to do. Because we understood that this is too much angry leg, assertiveness leg, and too less vulnerable. Try to give the message more balanced to Sylvia. When you go to that door, we rewind the video. You go back to the door. Now try to be balanced when you try to talk to her.
Right. Okay. From here.
Yes.
Standing from here talking.
It's easier.
Okay.
For the beginning.
Right. So I'm banging on the door.
And maybe not banging, but maybe better ringing.
Okay, ringing. Okay, I'm ringing the doorbell. The friend answers.
Yeah.
And I say, "Is Sylvia in here?" And they say, "Yeah."
Okay.
Okay. So I go downstairs and I see Sylvia. And I say, I'm worried about you.
That's a good move. Yeah, not yelling at her, but saying, hey, I'm worried about you. Can I talk to you for a moment? If you allow me to assist you a little bit.
Okay, yeah, so I'm worried about you. Can I talk to you? And
just for a few minutes.
Just for a few minutes, and we go upstairs, maybe outside again.
Exactly,
and
to some quiet place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah. How do you say that?
Well, maybe I would say that I am disappointed, like angry in a way. Studying, I don't know.
Do you feel how you shift to the angry leg?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe let's try to talk more from the soft side.
Okay. That I'm worried that what she's doing is not helping her.
Yeah. That you have some concerns if she's really sure what she's doing.
Yeah, maybe I could say I'm worried about the people
Yeah.
she's spending time with.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is a difficult mission actually.
Yeah.
Because she thinks she's doing okay.
Okay.
So how can you reach her without pushing her too much?
Can I ask her for something?
Yeah, of course.
So I could ask her, tell me why you're doing this, I'd like to understand.
Yeah, that would be a good stance to ask her.
Okay.
Instead of sending messages to her, first ask her, what are you doing here? How long do you want to stay here? How much alcohol do you want to drink? What do you think is a good limit? When can I expect you back home? Things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And kind of negotiate with her.
Yeah. Yeah, tell her that I'm worried and
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
Yeah.
It helps.
And maybe this touches her more than blaming her and tell her you have to take care for my needs or you have to do what I tell you. Because this might move her more or touch her more. You say, I'm concerned, I'm worried, maybe it's my problem, but can we find any kind of compromise that gives me the sense that you're really aware of what you're doing? Something like that.
Yeah.
Treat her as a small adult and not like a stupid child. Would be more helpful. Okay, try it again.
Talking?
Yeah.
Sylvia, I want to understand what you're doing here. I'm worried you're not studying. I'd like you to tell me more about these people you're with. What are your plans? Are you going to go back to the studies tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. How do you feel doing that?
Fine.
It's better?
It feels okay. It feels
Yeah.
fine.
What do you think if you move to Sylvia's side, how she would react?
I think she would maybe answer the questions.
Yeah.
She'd feel okay to answer them.
And maybe she's willing to make a compromise with it and say, okay, I'll be back at 1 or 2 or something. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And this is what I would suggest to you as the plan B, as another road to take.
Yeah.
Hold your anger back, bring your vulnerable feelings more in front, and then talk from this vulnerable side. And I'm not sure if it works all the time, but I think it could be promising to keep connected with Sylvia. And it will be more difficult for her to just turn the back on you and disappear.
Sounds good.
Sorry.
I have to get some water.
Yeah, I can give you some water. Sorry.
Lots of talking.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think we're through. We could, maybe it's better to talk with her not at the door, but before she goes to this party, in a quiet condition, that this would be the road to take, I think. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. You can take the glass with you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay.